Helen,
And I'm Liz,
and we're sisters
scientists,
and lifelong X-Files fans.
and this is We Want to Believe.
Did we do it? Are we live?
I think we're live. Yeah, it looks like there's captions on as well, which is a
Yeah.
strange choice. I don't know. I don't know how to change that. Yeah, we are live. It is working. Here we are.
All right. Sweet.
And it looks like there's a slight delay as well. So I don't know how we might use that. Maybe if something really horrible happens, we can immediately disconnect. I don't know.
Well, my computer has still occasionally been just shutting down. So I want to make that clear in case, since you just said if something horrible happens,
Oh, yeah.
it could just be my computer too.
I told my students yesterday that I would have their exams graded. Like, I was like, I can't imagine a scenario where I don't have your exams graded, like, I don't know, later today, unless, I don't know, my house is hit by a meteor. And then I didn't get their exams graded. So I guess they're going to assume that my house was hit by a meteor. But
Well,
I don't
then
know. I'll talk to them tomorrow.
all grading, presumably then.
Yeah.
I am
Yeah.
so far behind. Normally I am so on top of it and I want to get it done and just be done, but I just can't make myself this semester. I am just a
You're like almost done, right? Don't you have like
My finals are done, yeah. So
Hmm.
my grades are due, or my students' grades are due.
Oh, I see Katie Travis in the comments saying hi. Hi, Katie.
Katie, are due Thursday. Then Thursday night is the senior gala, which is
There's a gala? Oh, that's so cute.
last year was the first time I went. It was so fun. They have
Oh,
like drinks and hors d'oeuvres and a DJ, and it's all
oh
the
my
senior
God.
professors, and
Aw.
it was great. And then Sunday's graduation.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah, our graduation is before finals week.
that's real dumb. That seems like just asking for people to walk and not actually be
What
ready.
it's asking for is for an near infinite number of seniors to say to you, so I'm graduating, and so, but it's after graduation of the final. So do I have to take the final?
Oh my God.
And I want to be like, administration, you made this happen. You make it happen every semester.
You should put it on your syllabus. You should put like
That's what Adam does. Yeah, I should. I say yes, you do, but I also have started offering an alternate time if like they have a bunch of exams on the same day or something like that, or if they're graduating senior, because I do get it. It is dumb to have it that way, but whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I do have, before we start with the episode,
oh yeah.
I do have
And
a brief kind of spooky story.
I would love that. I feel like we should greet the people that are watching streaming as well and officially say welcome, colleagues, to them live. And feel free to comment or chat or ask any questions as they come up. And we'll talk about Talitha Cumi and some other stuff about it. But yeah, let's hear the spooky story.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a follow-up. So if anyone recalls, I think it was only last week that I was talking about the hole in my floor.
It was a couple weeks ago, but yeah, you've mentioned the hole in your floor a few times, so this is exciting.
Yeah, so since our house was built in 1925, I have always hoped that it's some sort of bootleg related hole where moonshine was stored or something.
Yeah.
So the other day, for the record, so our house was built in 25. Some of our neighbors were built in like 24.
Oh yeah, this is the 100-year anniversary of your house.
It is, yes. The school behind us was built in 27. So it's like everything was kind of built in the 20s in our neighborhood. So the other night, Zach had a recording thing to do. He was recording an event with the Beloit Historical Society. And he came home. And so this is from him. And so presumably he can, I don't know, alter this when he officially edits.
What is that? Alter it? Like his voice will cut in and then he'll be like, and then this happened, and do like your voice.
No, I just meant his voice.
Oh,
Presumably
I think
I'm getting something wrong, or like, be like,
Ooh.
no, that was entirely incorrect, Helen.
Zach, you should do Helen's voice.
I was wondering why you were making his voice higher. It's not. So anyway, so most of the houses in our neighborhood, similar style, all built in the 20s, and most of them have siding as opposed to like brick. But about half a block from us is a brick house that looks like noticeably different from the others. And we've always talked about how it's pretty cool. Like when we, go trick-or-treating or
Do you
whatever.
sing Brick House?
No, but I could, but I'm not going to.
I've been tricked into singing Brick House. So.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I think
okay.
everyone else does too.
Okay.
I'll sing it. You're welcome.
No.
I was lecturing my class on reproductive physiology. It's one of the last units we have in physiology. And I was talking about how the song Closing Time is about someone having a baby, about the guy.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, you all know what I'm talking about, right? I don't have to sing it. And a few students were like, no, I don't know it. No, nice one. No.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're smarter than me.
Yeah.
And also we have a comment from somebody in the chat that your office looks really nice.
Oh, thank you. Peel and stick wallpaper from Amazon. I think I want to put it in my hallway.
I like that.
I do like my office.
So there's a brick house.
There is a brick house. And
there's a brick house.
And it bricks apparently were like more expensive to build with, which makes sense.
Seems reasonable, yeah. Given
my knowledge of the, fairy tale with the three little pigs, at least. And
I don't think that's about the cost of the materials.
Well, I mean, but it's like increasing in value, right? It's increasing in like
unblow down ability, I thought. Yeah.
So, I mean, presumably you would have to pay more for something.
That makes sense. You got to pay more if you don't want the wolf to blow your house down.
So a mobster lived there.
Really?
Yeah. So apparently, there are tunnels beneath.
Not up.
Yeah, this is like half a block from us, maybe a block, but like close. There are tunnels beneath the house that he built. He was involved with the Chicago mob because we're not that far from Chicago.
No.
And he had like this whole system underneath the house for bootlegging. And then his brother there's like an even bigger brick house about another half block further. Mm-hmm. And apparently his brother built that one. And there are tunnels that used to connect the two houses as well. And so they had these like secret tunnels underneath the street. They're like on either side of the street. And I don't know the current status of the tunnels.
But you better find out before season 4.
Yeah. I mean, what if one goes to my mudroom, I mean, oh my God. So yeah. So that's my slightly spooky or at least crime ridden follow-up.
That is awesome.
I know. It's so cool.
I mean, like, that is the dream. Like, ever since I read Dawn and the Secret Passage, one of the Babysitter's Club books.
I never read.
It's a good one. I
never read any of them.
Oh. I guess I knew that. It's weird. I'll let it go for now. But Dawn finds, she has a very old house and there's a barn, and she finds a tunnel that goes from the barn up into the house. Oh. And she thinks it's haunted. And I've always wanted a tunnel. And I just reread that like 2 weeks ago. So I've had tunnels on my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe we can tunnel between our houses. No.
That'd be a long tunnel. I wouldn't stay in a tunnel that long.
No. I mean, it's basically Lower Wacker, but it.
But what are you talking about?
Well, isn't Lower Wacker like a tunnel? Like, it would have to be like a tunnel we could drive on, I think is what I'm meaning. Like,
okay. I mean, I thought I took it the opposite way, which is to say, I thought you thought Lower Wacker was like a real tunnel through the earth that was real deep. No, I mean, Lower Wacker is I guess it's like tunnel adjacent, but I don't feel like it's an actual tunnel. It's scarier than a tunnel. A tunnel is a thing I understand, and Lower Wacker is not a thing I understand.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this summer you should just tear up your floor, as do the listeners.
Oh, great. Are they going to help me put it back together?
Some of them might.
Is one our Uncle Chuck, the contractor? Because otherwise,
Not as far as I know.
that would be really strange. Um, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how, frustrated by all the work I do this
Well,
summer.
you could have a secret passage in your house. Have you checked really thoroughly? Have the children?
Um,
If you're hesitating, then you haven't checked thoroughly enough.
I mean, I don't know where else there would even be one though,
Let's think. Let's think. Stairs. Underneath the stairs, there could be like a secret additional staircase.
Down to the basement.
Going to a tunnel.
Maybe.
There's
Yeah.
stairs in Dawn's tunnel.
I don't. So, one of my colleagues who I'm kind of friends with, is a historian, and so she was apparently at this event the other night. So I'll get some more information from her. See
Yeah.
if more info about it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. What are you doing this summer, Ellen? Let's tear up my house.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That's great news.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I have any stories or updates. Oh, I do have one small update, which is that this summer, while we're in the off season, I was thinking I'm not going to post them on our website, but I'm going to repost some reruns, maybe like every other week, so that people can still hear our lovely voices.
Yeah. Great. Sounds like a plan. And
Yeah.
then we can talk about if there's anything that comes up or if we just feel like it and are both in the US, we
Yeah.
could.
Or both in Munich.
Yeah, or both. That
Let's
might be
record
fun.
from Munich.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
wonder if there's anywhere haunted in Munich that we could go.
I mean, I'm sure, but it is.
It would be tasteless for me to suggest we record in the presence of the bones that you work with. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But and plus, like
and by the way, just to be clear, the bones Helen is working with are from plague victims from hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Oh no, we
It
don't
would
know. They're, I mean, not necessarily plague. It's also people. I mean, this was a cemetery that was in effect for hundreds of years.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear that they weren't. Oh God, see, this is for going live, and this is what I want to be clear: the bones aren't from the 40s.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Jesus Christ, give me any ability to be live, and I will do something weird.
Yeah, no, late Roman, early medieval.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's
But
so old.
I'm sure there's some sort of medieval-y thing. We'll have to look.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's spooky stuff in Munich. Yeah.
We'll have to look into it.
Also, before we get started on the episode, we could do this mid-episode, and it doesn't make sense to do it mid-episode with this particular one. I was just wondering if you could share with people what it is you're doing this summer, because I keep telling people I think she might be gluing bones together, but I also think I'm wrong.
I think you're wrong. Why would I be doing that?
I thought you told me something about Europeans gluing bones together or something.
Yeah. So, okay.
And what else could they want you for? I don't know.
Science.
Huh. I figured it would take science to glue them together in the right order.
I mean, a little. So myself and a colleague are taking 8 students abroad to Munich, Germany, and we are going to be doing research on a group of individuals that were buried in Regensburg, Germany, which is about an hour and a half by train from Munich, about northeast, I think.
Yeah.
And thank you.
Oh, wait. No, don't ask me. I screw up my cardinal directions. It's definitely near Munich.
Yeah. So these people were in let's see if I can, Grosses Gravefeld or something like that.
Does that mean big graveyard?
Yes.
Yes.
There are roughly 1,000 individuals. So it was from Regensburg was originally a Roman garrison town. It was right on, not far from the Roman limes. So right at the edge of the Roman Empire.
What the hell is a limes?
Okay, so
it's like the plural for lemur.
Yeah. So my colleague Leslie, my colleague Leslie, had used that term, and I didn't know what it meant, but I thought maybe other people just did. She did her like doctoral research with this population
on lemuses. Yeah.
So like uh, maybe it has something to do with limestone, or maybe I'm way off base.
And see, this is, again, live episode. Normally we'd go, Zach, cut this out. We want to make sure we sound smart.
Edge of the Roman Empire to the east.
Also, God, for all the dumb things we say, now anyone listening knows, oh, they're cutting stuff out? Jesus Christ. Okay.
Geographical edge of the Roman Empire.
Cool.
So this was both on the edge, both geographically then and temporally. So it was right into the kind of transition into the Middle Ages.
Cool.
And so Regensburg started as this Roman garrison. And so there are still really cool, like Roman parts of the wall left and stuff. Parts of the tower have been like just incorporated into other buildings in the city. And then it was a medieval city for a while.
It's Middle Ages.
Middle Ages, because it's still a city. So,
yeah.
And so we have a lot of people that were buried there, for whatever various reasons. What makes it interesting in particular scientifically is that we're looking at people that were living like right at the edge of the empire, both again temporally and spatially. So we're seeing kind of that collapse of the Roman Empire and how health was affected potentially. So we're going to be looking at things like disease and different markers of health. And there's some interesting kind of I wouldn't call them mass burials. They're not they're like 5 or 6 people. But a few like really larger graves with people buried together that I think could be this is where you might be getting plague from. I think could be from a plague of some sort.
Yeah.
So we're going to be taking students and doing research.
But okay, doing research. You're there. You get the bones.
Oh, so gluing may be involved. So in Europe, it is not seen as disrespectful in most places in Europe to glue the bones back together, because they are very heavily fragmented and very fragile because they are so old. So we could potentially be gluing them so that we're able to do more kind of morphometric analyses.
Nope. Does that mean analyzing the shape of them?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Just like that. Yes.
Well, because they morph.
Yeah. Yeah.
And their shape changes.
Oh, yeah. So we can do more of that if we have them together than not. So especially like the cranium.
So you're going to look at them and you're going to be like, how'd they die? Let me look at their bones and then let me write it down.
More like, let me look at their bones. Maybe how did they die? But that's usually really hard to tell in skeletal remains. You can't usually.
Right. Unless it's like, I don't know.
Like a bullet.
How would you even tell? Like,
well, I mean, like, again, bullet wound or
what if you find bullet wounds, but they were buried, whatever, in like the 500s. So it's like time travel. That
would be hopefully something they would let me publish.
It would be like that scene in Outlander. I haven't seen the show, but with the yeah. People can see me.
Yeah.
Right. Smallpox vaccine scar.
Yes.
In the olden days. So you're just gonna kind of like look at them and note them.
So right. So like, because it's interesting to see, population demographics, lots of markers of health that don't necessarily tell us how they died, but tell us what their lives were like. So like, what were they eating? Or like how nutritional were their food sources?
You can tell that from the bones?
Sometimes, depending on the disease that could cause pathology in the bones. Things
But
like
TB can?
TB can, yeah, tuberculosis can. There are a few others. So I particularly am interested in signs of infectious diseases, but we'll be looking at kind of general biological profiles, so like age, sex, um, signs of
So it'll be like, here's my bin of bones. Today we're looking at bin 25, and we're being like, there's a femur. Looks kind of weird. Stuff
yeah,
like that.
yes,
Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
yep, yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Nice. All right. I think that's interesting. And I think we should totally record a one-off episode while we're in Munich together.
I think so too. That sounds
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
So how about I tell you a little bit about Talitha Cumi?
Yeah, perfect. Do we have any comments or anything?
Well, we do have one person asking again about digging up your floor.
Oh, I
Yeah,
mean,
but that's
yeah,
about it.
if you know me personally, you're welcome to,
I hope you're saying that. I don't know. We'll see what happens next weekend. I mean, well, you're at graduation.
oh, I meant more like you're welcome to talk to me more about it.
Oh,
Not
yeah. I guess I should have let
about
you
my
finish the
floor.
sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show up, bring your shovels. No, I do think like Hugo should look for secret passages. That is a good pastime for a kid, and I did it in our incredibly new suburban build in the 80s. So
That
he
was
should actually
brand
look.
new.
Yeah. It was brand new. However, someone else put an offer on it and then was going to buy it and then it fell through. Why? Probably ghosts.
I was going to say earwigs, but
It was something sinister and
yeah,
definitely not, financing.
no.
No. So yeah, no other comments right now, but I see multiple people listening. So hello everybody. Um, so Talitha Kumi, I will get into. And I have a variety of things to say about it. It starts in a fast food place, and oh, I forgot to check something with Adam about how to pronounce a word.
Mm.
We'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we come to
What's
it.
why would Adam know? What is the
Oh,
word?
because he can pronounce words. Um,
Oh, like just an English word? I thought it was
well,
maybe like French or something.
it's we'll get there.
Okay.
Well, we get another person saying hi. It's our editor, Zach Werner.
Oh, now he's going to have to listen to this again.
He chose this. He made this choice. He clicked on that link.
Yeah.
You chose this, Zach.
Yeah. He chose this 13 and a half years ago.
My friend Wolf once said to Adam when I said something really weird, you make the best with what you got, and this is what you got. And we say that all the time.
That's hilarious.
So, a man in a fast food place is kind of ranting to himself, seems real angry about something, and then he pulls out a gun.
Okay.
And he's like shouting at everyone. And so he says, the kids can leave, everybody else don't move on the ground. And I'm going to pause my discussion for just a moment to share something about the audition, apparently, which is that I don't know the name of the guy who actually got this role. Doesn't matter. The point is, someone else who auditioned for it apparently brought in a fake gun to the audition,
Oh, God.
which seems like a bad choice.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this older man in a suit who I was like, oh, I know that guy. Like, I remember him from, I don't know, maybe just seeing the episode, but like he has a very,
Oh, I think I'm remembering this. Is this like the healing guy?
Mhm. Yeah. So
Okay.
he comes up and he's super calm and he's like talking to the guy, and you can see he's about to get the gun from him. But then the guy sees that the police have arrived and there's guys with guns outside. So he just starts shooting, and the police shoot him. And he's like, says something about how he's going to die. But then the old man goes, nobody here is going to die. And he heals the shooter. And then he heals everybody else just by like touching them. And it bothered me a little bit. This is dumb. The guy, you can tell the man's been shot because he has like blood on his shirt and he's laying on his back. And then when the man puts his palm on him, the blood like gets sucked out of the shirt. And I thought that was like, but he's not healing the shirt. It's like he's a stain remover and a healer.
Yeah, yeah, that's a little dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I felt like why not have him get shot in the, I don't know, arm or neck or something where we could Well, maybe it would be too gross. I don't know.
Or just like show him
Suddenly being okay and then looking
Right,
at
yeah,
pulling his shirt
yeah.
up. Yeah.
There seem like there's a lot of options
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Zach has assured us he knows he doesn't have to be here. So that's good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I feel like being like, and Zach, you're sure you're feeling okay? You're just tired and being real anxious.
Do you think he'd have to be sick to attend this?
No, he was saying he was feeling tired earlier, and I'm
Well,
an anxious
welcome,
person.
colleagues, to the show where we investigate if our editor is tired or sick.
I mean, husband too, not just like.
I like saying editor. I think it's funnier.
Okay.
Anyway, he's our editor. He's your husband.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's like, nobody's gonna die. Theme song comes on. Mulder and Scully show up at the scene and they talk to the EMT and he's like, and Scully says, where are the victims? And he's like, the people are inside, but everybody's fine, you know? And so Scully talks to this one young guy who's one of the ones who was shot by the shooter. And he's like, yeah, I felt the shot. And then I suddenly was able to, the old man came over, he put his hand on me. I felt better. Everything healed. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Mulder goes and talks to the gunman who says he thinks that this is God sparing his life, that man must have been holy in some way. And then Scully says he's vanished. Like they can't find him at the scene.
Okay.
Then we cut to Mrs. Mulder.
Oh.
And she is at the Mulder's lake house, this cabin.
Do you know her first name ever? Do we ever find that out?
I'm sure we do. You're gonna look it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, this is what
Zach can edit this out later.
Yeah.
He's just tired, by the way.
Okay, great. Tina, short for Elizabeth.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
I don't feel like Tina should get to be short for Elizabeth.
Well, you're not in charge. I don't know.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
So Tina Mulder.
Yeah. I don't feel like Harry should be short for Henry, but I mean.
All right. That's a good point.
Yeah. Or Peg, short for Margaret. There's a lot weirder stuff, I guess is what I'm saying, than Tina.
Yeah. I just feel like, isn't it short for Christina? It already has a name to be short for.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Nevertheless.
Okay.
Tina Mulder.
Yeah.
She lets herself into the cabin. She steps outside. Who would you like to guess is outside? Or maybe you remember. Do you know who's outside?
Man?
Cigarette smoking man.
That's just a guess.
And the thing I noticed about them is they both look young to me at this point. Not like young, like younger than me, but like I used to think
they both have like pure white hair, I think, don't they?
I mean, cigarette smoking man's hair is more like grayish, but yeah. We did get a commenter pointing out that really I think the worst case is using the nickname Dick for Richard. So
that's fair.
I said commenter and not coworker, right?
I don't know.
It's not a coworker of either of ours. I don't think. So yeah, I was just like, I think I'm getting to the age where people, Mulder and Scully's parents' age, just look like people, and they're not like, oh, that's an old person, you know?
Yeah.
Like Mrs. Mulder in particular, I was like, she has white hair, but she doesn't look old, you know?
Yeah. I am 70% white. So
what did you say?
I mean, like my hair. Zach, cut this out. My hair is 70% white. I am 100% white.
Are you sure we should cut this out? We'll discuss that. I was thinking episode title. Okay. I was like, I don't even know how the math of that would work out. But anyway, your hair is 70% white. Yes. Yeah, exactly. So white hair doesn't really mean anything about people's ages.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. Okay.
Zach says it's staying.
Right.
So cigarette smoking man called her here, and he does some reminiscing, some like, okay, there's like an actual reason why he's saying this, but it starts with like a really bizarre image where he's like, oh, I remember all the good times we had here. And he's saying it in kind of a sinister-ish way. And he's like, oh, Bill Mulder, he was such a good water skier, your husband, and not as good as me. And I just want to pause for a moment to think about cigarette smoking man water skiing really well.
I feel like I can almost see it.
I
I
mean,
don't
he'd be
know.
smoking while he's on the water skis,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
um, but then he says, that could be said about so many things. So he's clearly implying that he slept with Mulder's mom
Yeah.
and he's not being cool.
I think it's the first time we get that information
Yeah.
or that it's hinted at.
hmm And so he wants her to find something that was left there. And then we kind of back away from the argument and we can't hear it, but we see someone who's watching them and taking photos and they're clearly arguing and yelling at each other and stuff. So then we go back to Mulder and Scully, and they're at the scene still. They find out the name of the guy was Jeremiah Smith. But then Mulder gets a call from Skinner who says, your mom is in the hospital in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay.
And so they drive there. And it occurred to me, like, are season enders just when family are harmed?
Good point.
Because,
Yeah.
like, in the last season ender was when Mulder's dad died and when Scully's sister died.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And Mrs. Mulder, Tina, doesn't die in this, but
Great.
still.
Um,
So
and I don't think Scully's mom is ever harmed. Is she? I think she's always okay.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so so Scully hears it from a nurse. It was a stroke. They were told a 911 call came in and they got there. Nobody else was there, but she was on the ground. So it seems like either cigarette smoking man or whoever took the pictures called 911. And she can't, Mrs. Mulder, Tina can't talk, but she asks for like a pad of paper and she writes palm.
Ah, okay.
And so Mulder thinks there must be a connection.
Hand, like PALM, palm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Are there other types?
No, I don't know.
Just being thorough.
Thorough. Yeah.
Well, so that's what Mulder thinks, though, is exactly hand, palm. That's how that guy was healing people. So he thinks there must be a connection there.
I see. It could also mean tree, presumably.
Yeah. Yeah. It turns out to be neither of those.
Huh, great.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember what it is. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Ooh. So he thinks it's got to have something to do with Jeremiah Smith. So he's like, let's drive back to DC. So they've driven from DC to Rhode Island, back to DC. I didn't look up the driving time, but I'm confident time is not adding up quite right, but whatever. They look at some, and this I was like, ooh, and you might remember this. They look at some security footage that shows there's Jeremiah Smith with a couple other people around.
Yeah.
Somebody walks by the camera, and then Jeremiah Smith is gone.
Yes.
But there's another man in his place wearing his clothes.
Yes.
And so now it becomes clear he's one of those shapeshifters, these shape-shifting aliens.
Oh, okay. I was trying to remember if we knew about that yet.
We do because we know about the alien bounty hunter.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Which he's done a fair amount of shape-shifting.
Yeah.
And so then same night, Mulder leaves. Scully goes, where are you going? He goes, if I told you, you wouldn't let me go. And what he's doing actually is going back to the cabin. So lots of driving. We see agents going into the Social Security Administration because that is where Jeremiah Smith is on record as working. And we see like they're being quiet. They're in suits. Excuse me. Sorry. And they kind of sneakily go in and they pull him away and they take him away and they put him in prison. And honestly, I had kind of a hard time with that these days, you know? This is though under orders of cigarette smoking man. I did look up a little bit about him, William B. Davis. He is still alive. He's 87.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And I was just thinking, because There is talk of a reboot potentially.
Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Don't
Well,
do it.
it would be a reboot. It would be done by Ryan Coogler, who did Black Panther and this
Oh,
recent horror movie called Sinners that sounds really good, but probably too scary for me. And some other movies that are really good and cool and have and like almost all of them uh star Michael B. Jordan. I don't know. I think it could maybe be cool if it was like a newer person's take on it and not
yeah.
just Chris Carter dredging up the same stuff. So
Okay.
we'll
Well,
see. I'm
yeah.
cautiously, very, very cautiously optimistic.
Okay.
Um, so then Mulder is back at the cabin, and we see that somebody is watching him. Just dropped my pen. And then they come out, and it's X.
Oh, nice.
I was
I was
like,
hopeful he'd be in this one, but I didn't want to say anything and jinx it for some
yeah.
reason. So,
I
okay.
was I was sitting in my kitchen and had headphones on and went, ha ha. So yeah.
Good. Good.
Yes. So it's X, and he's very X-ish in this episode. Um, he says he was here with her, the cancer man.
Oh,
And we were
okay.
just talking about in Wet Wired how they call
Uh,
him that and how it seems like this is sort of the first time the show is using that. So,
yeah. Yeah. Cool.
and it was X who took the pictures and he gives the pictures to Mulder. And he's like, cigarette smoking man wants something from this house. What might your mom have left here? And Mulder's like, I have no idea. And X looks kind of suspicious.
And now this is, I don't know if you said this or not, but this was like their summer cabin.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's where they would water ski.
It's where they would water ski.
Yeah,
Got
some better than others. Yeah. Um, yeah, so it's like this, it's on a lake in the woods in Rhode Island. Oh, and we also had somebody in the comments mention that they did that short-lived revival a couple years ago that wasn't that great. And I think it was, I never saw it. What I heard is that there's an episode called Mulder and Scully versus the Were Monster or something like that that's supposed to be actually really, really funny and amazing.
Oh, huh. Okay.
Maybe
Cool.
we'll get there and we'll watch it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Eventually, we might be like, well, we're out of everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, that was still with Mulder and Scully, and I think it was just like a 6 episode little set.
Yeah.
I don't think it was intended to be more. It sounds like the reboot would be like it's still the X-Files, but it has new agents and
That interests me potentially more. I like, as much as I love Mulder and Scully, I feel like we've done that and like we have to stop as a
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, Gillian Anderson apparently said in an interview a couple days ago that like she'd be willing to maybe drop by once and like do a little appearance, and I think that would be delightful.
Yes, like I was thinking about that, how in the newer Mary Poppins. Whoa.
Oh, was that loud?
Yeah, very.
Oh, sorry, it was just a bottle of carbonated water.
um Newer Mary Poppins that came out 5 years ago or so. I never liked the original that much, except for Dick Van Dyke's character, who I thought was great. But Dick Van Dyke had a cameo in the new
Oh,
one, and it was
oh,
like,
that's delightful.
yeah, it was like more, I don't know. It
I
was,
somehow missed there was a new Mary Poppins altogether.
yeah, it was with Emily Blunt. Is that who?
It's a person.
John
Yes, you don't have to say it.
Yes.
But
Just
let's
put me
note,
off.
long words that start with K, often hard to pronounce. Let's just get that on the record.
Great. Yes.
It's going to
No.
become relevant.
Great.
Um, yeah, anyway, so where are we? Scully, she goes back to the FBI headquarters.
Okay.
And Jeremiah Smith arrives and he's fine. And he's like, and you can tell, like, I mean, a viewer can tell
It's not him.
it's not him.
Yeah.
But he's like, I saw my picture on the news, so I wanted to come in and talk, but like, I don't remember anything happening. I don't know. And so they just kind of talk to him and they're like, well, notify us if you're going to leave town, but you haven't done anything wrong. It's just we want to figure out what's happening. And he's like, I'm sorry. I like have no memory until I was at work the next day. And so then go back to the cabin. It is now nighttime, and Mulder has gone back in under cover of darkness, which is probably smart because he doesn't 100% trust X,
Yeah.
nor should he.
Yeah.
Um, and he looks around. We see some really cute, like 70s dishes, like mugs with colorful designs and stuff. And I thought, I like these dishes. But he looks around, he's fine, he doesn't find anything. He sits down on the couch, he looks at the message from his mom, that's his palm, and then you remember what happens. He rearranges the letters and it says lamp.
Yeah.
And he starts breaking lamps.
Oh man.
And I didn't remember what he found until I saw it. Did you remember?
Is it the pokey thing? Is it the alien pokey thing?
It's the alien pokey thing. Hi, Kelly Travis. Um,
Hi.
and so yeah, it's the alien pokey thing, which for anyone who doesn't remember, that is the little metal guy about this big that has a thing that goes ching, like a little poker
Yes.
that you use to stab them in the back of the neck, and that's the only way to kill these shape-shifting type of aliens. But it's also the weapon that the shapeshifter alien, the alien bounty hunter, carries. And
Right.
yeah, and so
I mean, that would kill anyone, frankly. So, like,
would it?
yeah. Yeah. You poke someone through the
It's about like,
spinal cord with a huge metal spike. That's gonna
I mean, it was a narrow metal spike.
right. So it's gonna puncture really easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would that would
Okay.
kill anyone. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't hear the garbage trucks outside my house, can you?
No.
Okay. It's very warm in here, but I have to have the windows open. Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's why I have the windows open.
Yeah,
but the garbage trucks are loud.
Yeah.
Oh, there was also a question if there's any news about your book from somebody there. That's a longer answer.
The longer answer. Yeah. My book is having to be slightly altered to talk about a different population because of issues. And that's as much as I can say. Not my issues, for the record. I didn't do anything. So I am still under contract to write a book about tuberculosis. I am in contact with my editor. It might be slightly different than planned.
Is there a way to like work in more of a vampire angle? No.
No,
Okay.
I don't
Because,
think.
okay, like, because don't they like TV
Yeah.
and vampire victims have some things in common?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the super broad. I see, and I've never bought this because tuberculosis has been around for basically forever.
I
And
feel like we kind of think of TB as being like an 1800s disease.
right, we do, and that's part of what my book is about. But no, it's been around like I mean, like it was found in like 20,000-year-old bison. Like tuberculosis.
Oh, that's right, of course. We've talked about bison because I was going to
Yeah.
rewrite a book to make a bison the main character for some reason.
Right, it was going to be time traveling bison.
Yes.
But so it's super old. So I've never really bought the like pale skin, because people would have grown up for generations knowing what tuberculosis looks like. I mean, I mean, whether it was tuberculosis or maybe a different pneumonial disease that, maybe presented similar, I don't think it would have been confused for vampirism. So
Okay.
that's my professional take.
I like that. I like that opinion because it makes me think maybe vampires, actual vampires.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is the alien pokey thing that Mulder finds in the lamp. I don't know what it's officially called.
That would be so alarming. Like, why? Like,
I mean, we've had that one lamp in our family for
yeah.
over my whole life, what, like 50 years probably? There could be any sort of weapon in there. I mean, not any sort, not like a medieval sword because it's a small lamp, but yeah.
Yeah, it's alarming.
So yeah, the alien pokey thing is in the lamp. I was quite shocked. And then we see cigarette smoking man goes and interrogates Jeremiah Smith, the real Jeremiah Smith.
Oh.
And I don't know. I think it was supposed to be a meaningful conversation, and I found some of it a little bit tiresome about like people and trust, and people want to be happy, and they don't believe in religion, and I don't know. It was a little bit like vague statements.
A lot of
Um,
blogging, like a lot
which,
of,
yeah, a little monologuing and like, I don't know. But then it got a little bit interesting. Cancerman says the project is going forward. The date is set.
oh, okay.
And then Jeremiah Smith, do you know what he does? Do you
No, that,
remember this? Because I
nope.
was not ready. He turns into Deep Throat.
Oh, right. I remember that now because I still confuse Deep Throat and Bill Mulder looking at them. I still can't totally, and I remember not knowing which one he was supposed to be.
I literally did that while watching this episode.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So Deep Throat is then saying, at what cost? How many have to die to preserve your stake in the project? Which, like,
Yeah.
cool move to turn into somebody cigarette smoking man has had killed. Like,
It's
oh,
like in The Good Place when they build the Michael suit so that they can torture the humans as Michael.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so then we see Scully and Skinner are talking, and Mulder storms in and shows them the photos and is like, "I need to talk. I know. I want his name. Tell me how to find him about Cancer Man."
Ah,
And he's like, he's trying to kill Jeremiah Smith. I'm not totally sure how he put that together. I guess because he knows Mysterious Healer, same time as he's going to Mrs. Mulder to look for the alien pokey thing. So probably, and we saw that he shapeshifted and they're aware of the presence of shapeshifters.
okay.
So I think
Yeah.
it kind of, as I say it out loud, I think it works. Um, so they go to try to find the fake Jeremiah Smith at the Social Security Administration, and he runs off and turns into somebody else and turns into somebody else, and he seems to just pick like old white dudes, which maybe was because of his outfit making it work, or maybe he was just like
I mean, that's a
this.
solid way to get away with stuff.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Because a little bit
Eight.
later, then we see him outside the prison in his whatever generic old white dude he was, and he turns into the alien bounty hunter.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Got
we go back to the interrogation. Cigarette smoking man this is a different day, and he's talking to Jeremiah Smith, or maybe a different time session. I don't know. And then he turns into Bill Mulder, which again, I was like, is it Deep Throat? And then I
Yeah.
put together. And he's like, you can't kill them all, and then he tells him, you're dying of cancer,
Oh.
which should not be a shock to. So he's like, he doesn't believe him at first, and I want to be like, well, you do smoke literally constantly. Like he's
Huh.
like, you're dying of lung cancer. And
Huh.
cigarette smoking man is like, oh, you're lying. And he's like, no. Is it a lie? No.
Huh.
Um, and so then I realized, well, he can heal.
Right.
So he is going to buy his way out, basically. He's going to let cigarette smoking man let him out if he
Uh,
heals him of lung cancer.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, the shots of cigarette smoking man smoking indoors all the time, I still find jarring. It's so weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, when I worked at Applebee's, there was a smoking section, which feels,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, that was 20 years ago.
Oh God, that's weird.
Oh my God. Yeah. I mean, when Zach and I were dating, our first Valentine's Day, we went to a concert with friends, and then felt like terrible the whole next day, because we'd been in a place that allowed smoking. And so like my lungs were just like shot.
Ugh.
Like, and that was,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess still a long time ago.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, well, a little bit later, we see him smoking in a hospital.
oh God.
I have to imagine that wasn't allowed. No, I
Oh,
know
no,
for a
I know it
fact
wasn't
it
because
wasn't.
our dad would have.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I think that's just him being cigarette smoking man doing his
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we see the alien bounty hunter go in, ask to speak to Jeremiah Smith. He's gone because Cancer Man let him go.
Okay. All right.
We see then Mulder is at the hospital with his mom. He's worried about her. She's not healed yet.
Did
And
he just literally have a stroke?
as
Like,
far as we know, yeah, like it was like a stroke that was like in reaction to all the terrible stuff going on, maybe. I don't know if that's a real thing. I don't know that type of science.
I do. And no.
Oh, I had somebody say something to me. A fellow writer said something um, about like, what if you're a butterfly, but you want to be a caterpillar again, or something like that. And then she
Okay.
said, well, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You do science, or you're a scientist. And I was just like, oh no, I'm not a butterfly scientist. Like, um, and also, like, it's an analogy. I don't, whatever. Anyway, cigarette smoking man shows up at the hospital then, and
Ah.
and he's smoking, and Mulder rushes up and puts a gun in his face, and he lies and says, "No, no, your mom contacted me because she wants to know what happened to Samantha."
Hmm.
But
Okay.
Mulder doesn't believe him, and Mulder's like, "I have what you want."
Oh.
Yeah. And then we see that Scully is in the office. It is 11:21 p.m., their favorite time. And I was just like, uh, jarred because it was like 11:21 p.m. and she's in the dark working on the office and the computer. And I just, again, had that moment of like, just work from home. Just look this up
Oh.
and it's like, oh no, if she wants to do this work, she has to go into the office.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what she finds there is that there are other Jeremiah Smiths working in Social Security administrations all over the country.
Oh, weird. Okay. I mean,
And
I was
they
gonna say when you originally said Social Security Administration, like that's an awfully convenient place to have an in if you're gonna have people's information to change,
May
presumably.
I suggest make up different fake names for each of your different aliens because it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Also, your shapeshifters maybe have a different face.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah. If
that
you want to be an old white dude, like,
Yeah, yeah. So they all look the same and they all have that name.
yeah.
But one's in Chicago and one is in Seattle. So Mulder then is in the parking garage of the hospital. X comes out and he wants the alien pokey thing. And Mulder says no. And he's like, Mulder knows what the whole point of it is. He's like, it's a weapon. That's how we can kill them. And Mulder knows the date is set. I am unclear how Mulder knows the date is set,
Huh. Okay.
but whatever it is. And they fight.
Oh,
Like, yeah, X goes
whoa. I
wild.
wouldn't
And
fight X.
yeah, I know he's a badass.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Older either, to be fair. I mean,
yeah,
yeah.
very tall.
Both of them.
Yeah. Uh, apparently it was mostly stunt doubles in the fight, but
Oh,
nevertheless, Stephen Williams, who plays X, got hurt.
oh
So,
no.
which like it never even occurs to me. I just see it all as so fake that it like I
Yeah.
don't even remember that like, oh yeah, people could get hurt doing that.
Yeah.
So,
Zach was just telling me some story about some documentary that Daniel Radcliffe's stunt double from like all of the Harry Potter movies, like they got to be pretty close because they worked together since,
mhm,
for like 8 years.
mhm.
He ended up getting paralyzed doing a stunt
Oh
or something on the final movie.
God. Oh
Uh,
God, that's awful.
yeah, and I mean, luckily Daniel Radcliffe has like helped provide for him and like has, been
Oh, good.
cool
Yeah.
about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never thought of that. I just found out that one of our student that we had like our study abroad, safety meeting
Pre-departure meeting. Yeah, yeah.
put on by our study abroad department.
We
And
should talk about those at some point when we're not recording.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We can't just have Zach edit it out.
No.
Well, here, yeah. Um, and uh, and our head of study abroad said something like, it's been a long time, but the only time that we've lost a student abroad was they got hit by a bus. And I was
Oh
like,
my God.
whoa. And then like he kept going and I was like, could we get more information? Like, oh my God. Yeah.
Oh
So
my God, that's horrifying.
yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah, yeah, I know. So, oh, if Kelly Travis is still on, we'll have to talk about how they're changing the mascot.
Oh, the bullet. It's not going to be a turtle?
It never was a turtle. So we're officially the Buccaneers. But then there's the turtle is like our unofficial mascot.
Are they going to make it official?
No.
I should just let you finish.
They're
Yeah.
just coming up with a different Buccaneer, which is, I don't know. I have feelings about it.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
not as many feelings as like current students and alums like have like some very divisive feelings about it.
like I felt really strongly when they chose Pioneer Pete. I was real mad. I wrote a very passionate thing about how it should be a dog, and
Was it what was it before?
it was the generic minor. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But we didn't really have like a person. Apparently, and I may have told this on the podcast before, that they hired an outside team to like study Platteville and learn about like you guys did too.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
They then ignored their recommendation of that team
Oh, really?
because that team recommended that we become the monadnocks,
What?
which is the name for the type of hill that our big M is on.
So dumb.
I don't know. Is it or is it amazing? Who doesn't want an anthropomorphic hill as their mascot?
Yeah.
Like Stanford has a tree, but this would be even better.
Do they?
It's a Christmas or it's a pine tree. Yeah.
I feel like animals 100% make the best mascots. Like,
I mean, like,
change
and
my
that is what I wrote. But
Yeah.
on the other hand,
I would take a hill or a
doesn't
tree.
it? I mean, isn't a plant like one better or a collection of plants growing on a geological feature?
Well, and we've talked about the Freeport pretzels. Too.
Oh yeah. I mean, a snack food, also a good mascot.
Yeah.
Apparently in Japan, like cities have mascots. Like there's just like way more of like a mascot culture.
Ooh.
I'm really excited. I want to meet them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my main issue is that it's really weird for a human to dress up in a human costume.
100%. It's so weird.
Yes.
It's like, here's my human head. I shall put another human head on top of it.
Yep. Yeah. Very weird. Yeah.
On the other hand, when I was in junior high, there was a girl who tried out for the cheerleading team, didn't make it. We were the Vikings, and she had long blonde hair, and she was told, "You'll be our mascot instead," and had to dress up as a Viking. And it was just her face, and she wore long blonde braids.
I don't know if that's cool or not. I think it all depends on how she felt about it.
I don't think she
didn't
seemed super excited about it. I mean, if you're going for cheerleader and that's where you end, yeah. And suddenly you're dressed like a Viking and
yeah. Yeah. Sorry. Anyway,
before we get back to the show, I will also mention from the chat that somebody in the chat was talking to someone else last week who mentioned going to Kentucky to an Applebee's type restaurant and being asked if they wanted smoking or non.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm speechless. I didn't realize
That's still a thing.
Still did that.
Yeah.
Whoa. Weird.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah. So Mulder and X fight. They end up pulling guns on each other. And Mulder's like, "If you shoot me, you'll never find it." And X is like, "I gotta shoot you anyway for all the good I've done you and how much I've helped you." And Mulder's like, "I'm walking away." And so he walks away and he keeps the pokey thing. And then it is 1 a.m. and Scully is getting home. And again, I don't know. I just keep thinking like, oh, this is not my life. Like at work at 11:21. Now it's 1 a.m. You're getting home. It's dark in your apartment.
Oh, that's just scary. I mean, I know she's armed and an FBI agent, but still, that's...
I mean, think of all the creepy stuff that has happened in her home.
Yeah. Yeah, for real.
So she goes in her apartment, picks up the phone, but before she can call anyone, immediately there's a knock on the door, which I question because she would have seen that person in the hall, unless it's her next door neighbor, which it is not. Do you want to guess who it was?
Jeremiah Smith?
Very good.
Ah, cool.
So maybe, and I don't know how the shapeshifters work. They seem to shift into just people, but maybe he temporarily shifted into like a door. Or something. I don't know. We've never seen them do that. It would be a door with clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she lets him in. She's very cautious, but she lets him in. And he's like, "I have info about everything. The man you spoke to before is an imposter." And then Mulder calls and she's like, "Jeremiah Smith is here." And Mulder's like, "Okay, I need you to meet up with me. There's going to be men coming to your house because X has made it clear there are going to be people after you to get the alien pokey thing.
Okay.
And he's like, meet me at this like off Highway 95 at such and such road. And they meet at this like, I don't know, old lumber yard slash factory.
That's familiar from the episode, but that's also weird. Yeah.
I know. And again, I was just like, oh, I can't just put a pin in a map. But again, also, if cigarette smoking man's trying to kill you, you probably shouldn't use Google Maps.
Yeah.
So, and so they get there, and Mulder's like, I need to bring you to the hospital to see my mom. So he's going to want Jeremiah Smith to heal his mother.
Oh, okay.
But then another car almost immediately pulls up, and it's the alien bounty hunter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Episode ends.
Oh my God. What?
Mm-hmm.
That's how season 4, wait, 3? What are we on? Season 3? That's how it just ends? The whole
Yep. Yep.
I have never had to stop that way because of DVDs.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I remember my season 4 DVDs because I was in the process of acquiring them.
Yeah, they were ridiculous.
I got them from China, and I don't think they were real. And there were weird misspellings, like the word cigarette, and they were shaped weird, but they worked. So
shaped weird. The boxes.
The boxes. Yeah, no, not the DVDs. Those were circles. Yeah, they were square.
Whoa! No kidding.
Yeah, that's how it ends.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like this, I have thoughts about this in terms of books too. One of my least favorite things is when authors end a book in a series like straight up on a cliffhanger like that. Like I like when things aren't wrapped up, but I want it to feel like a book. Do you know what I mean? And not like part of a story.
Like half a book.
Yes. Yeah. That drives me nuts when people do that. I
actually was hearing on a podcast recently talking about Jet Lag the Game, that show that we're obsessed with, where they were talking about how they try not to end episodes on straight cliffhangers that often. They'd rather have it be where something has a conclusion in such a way that then you're left wondering, how is this going to affect the rest of the game?
Yeah.
Or like something where it's like we have like something is wrapped up and now we have new info maybe. Or, oh, are they going to successfully play this little bit of a classical music song on a bunch of bottles or not? And, oh, they did it. And now it's like, ooh, how is that going to affect things? Like, and I do think that makes more sense to not just always cliffhanger.
Right. Like, and I'm not opposed to what would be like semi cliffhangers or whatever, you know, like you do want to be like, oh my gosh, what happens next? But like, I don't want it to feel like it's chopped in the middle, you know?
Yeah. And this very much did. But at the same time, you know, I mean, imagine back in the 90s, like you're desperate for the fall to start up. Oh my God.
I'd be so annoyed. Yeah.
And I was thinking like, oh no, we don't get to watch it. And then I'm like, we could watch it right now. It's just that we aren't recording about it.
Yeah. Whoa, no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
okay.
Some other news. First of all, apparently Kentucky, there is no statewide ban on smoking, but most cities and counties have their own ordinances restricting it.
Oh, okay. Ugh,
yeah. So, also, not about smoking. Talitha Cumi, the name of the episode.
Yeah.
Why is it called that? It's Aramaic for maiden arise or little girl get up, which is it's a reference. Do you know this story?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming that it's, for Jesus healing someone.
Yeah. Yeah. How could you have figured that out? Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's a reference to a particular story in the Bible. And
that makes sense.
Was also talked about in the novel. Okay, I have never been nervous about how I pronounced this until today when I was reading it.
Is this what you were going to ask Adam? Oh, okay.
I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to say how it's always been in my head. And maybe it's right and it's fine. The brothers Karamazov?
Ooh. Nope, I'm sure.
Yeah. But you can see where.
Yeah. I think Adam would know. I mean, that isn't an English word, though. That's a name.
Yeah, but he was an English major.
No, I just mean like in your defense.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you made it sound like it was like an English word
I
that,
mean, it wasn't
like
like,
sounded-
it's in a weird space because it's a
yeah,
novel that we read in English.
yeah.
So I don't know.
Huh.
But yeah, apparently the interrogation scene between Jeremiah Smith and cigarette smoking man was inspired by this particular like sort of story within a story within that novel called The Grand
Oh.
Inquisitor, where they discuss the possibility of a benevolent God. And David
Oh.
Duchovny had suggested this as inspiration on multiple conspiracy episodes, and they finally used it.
And that's the one where you were like, he's kind of monologuing. This isn't super interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
A lot
fine.
of other people liked it, but I don't know. I just feel like vague statements about science is their new religion. And I don't know. I just
Yeah.
it wasn't doing anything for me. The other thing though is that the fast food restaurant is called the Brothers K.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Um, and then the guy who played Jeremiah Smith, he has a zillion TV credits, but he was most known for a show he did in the 60s, which I'd never heard of, called The Invaders. It was on in like, I think 67 to 69 or something like that. It's called The Invaders. It's a sci-fi show about aliens who disguise themselves as humans and infiltrate.
Weird.
Yeah.
Very specifically typecast.
Yeah. Yeah. He was also in a show called Satan's School for Girls, which I think is the best title for something ever.
Yeah, that's great. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So we'll have to wait until the fall to find out what happens, or just
Yeah.
watch it
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. The next episode is Heron Volk.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which sounds German. Maybe you can go find out what it means.
That's true. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
probably Google it.
Yeah.
Hair, probably men.
My guess is it means people.
Okay, let's see.
Because I'm pretty sure heron is men or like men people.
Right.
Because Volk is people, like folk. Folk comes from the word Volk, and like Volkswagen is like the people's car. Um, so I feel confident in Volk, but I also think heron is like dominant heron, like at the beginning of that song.
Yeah, no, I mean, so it is probably coming from man or people, but it means master people.
Oh.
Yeah, concept of
Oh God,
the
Jesus.
ideology.
Okay. And so this is getting into that idea of the aliens colonizing Earth then, but
Right.
there's also that Nazi science that they talk about. Okay.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Well, it doesn't mean people. I'm disappointed.
No, I mean, the word people is in there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably okay. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. So we don't end on that. Anything else? Anything in the comments?
Anything in the comments? Well, just a note that they should use turtles as their official mascots,
Agreed.
and some love for Dick Van Dyke. I will also share, me and some old friends were chatting recently. You know Rocky Horror Picture Show and how there's like a live experience where like, have you ever gone?
No, because I so desperately don't want anyone to make me do anything.
Oh, I forgot they make you do stuff.
refuse. Yeah,
You can just lie and not do it. I feel like
yeah, but I don't even want to watch other people do things. I don't know. I don't want to be involved in the whole thing.
well, an old friend had the idea, Sandy Calderon had the idea to, and I think I'm comfortable giving her full name here because it's a fantastic idea, to do Empire Records live shows in the vein of Rocky Horror, but not with the like initiation stuff, but like, you know, maybe
Like
there's call and response, and like maybe in the scene where Mark eats a brownie and hallucinates he's playing with Guar, everybody eats cosmic brownies, or like she had some other ideas that were really good. And I just feel like everyone my age is obsessed with that movie and would go and spend all the disposable income we now have as real adults. And I can already see in the comments people like this idea. So I'm like legitimately thinking,
So
you've never seen Empire Records?
no.
Well, the comment section is going to go crazy with anger.
Well, great.
At least two of the people here, maybe just one. It's so good. I mean, it's not good in the traditional sense of the word good, but it's great.
Believe you. Yeah, I don't know. I was slightly too young and then never cared.
Yeah. I have a lot of that from movies from the early 80s or like
Yeah,
mid 80s. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. I mean, anyway, I don't know how one like puts on events. Like, I mean, of course I do in a sense, but like, how do you do that at like a bar? Like, how do I be like, hey, bar, or like High Noon Saloon, you should do this?
Well, our editor, uh,
Oh, yes, our editor.
um,
Yeah.
he has been acting as a booking agent for a band lately. So maybe
Is that what you need? Like a booking agent to like, can he book us?
I don't know.
I don't know. Every time I think about our audience, I just picture Tobias Funke standing up talking about being a never nude and saying, there are dozens of us,
It
which is
doesn't.
maybe optimistic. All right. Yeah, you are now getting some anger in the comments at not having seen Empire Records.
By one person or
Kind of one and a half. I mean, they're both people. One person who's shaming you, and another person who's like, I've seen it.
ah.
That's our mom.
Oh.
So, more of a comment that she's not angry with you, but like she's seen it. So.
But she would have been an adult.
Oh no, she just saw it recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
She
no
told me
way.
she was watching it, and I started just texting her tons of quotes from it
Oh.
because I could say like the
Oh.
whole movie. So.
Oh, wow. Huh. That's how I am about Ever After. I think I could legitimately, and maybe all of Lord of the Rings.
Start us off. How's Ever After start?
Oh, I'd have to like think about it and do like the music and the like.
Do the music by all means.
She's
I don't know how it goes. You'll have to remind me.
she's feeding the pigs. She's, waking up next to the fireplace.
I thought it started with an old lady in a carriage.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
But
so
just
right.
not
That's
care
right.
about that part.
Yeah. That's right. It starts with her being younger. Yeah. And then
No. Doesn't it start with like old lady who's like telling the framing device?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's been too long, I guess. Never mind. What?
I'm a whole person. So it's not how I meant. It was 1.5 messages of shame.
The other was just a message of even I've seen it. It wasn't directly shameful.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
I think we should wrap it up here because I have to pee worse than I've ever had to pee in my life.
I have to sign some forms for someone.
Okay. I gotta write some fiction. So
you drink more water. Well, thank you, everyone. This was fun.
Thank you for coming. This was great. I think we should do it again before Zach starts booking us for places. I do legitimately think there should be a live Empire Records show. So I'm gonna work on that.
We'll talk to the 1.5 people who agree.
I have to pee too bad.
All right.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you soon. I gotta figure out how to stop live streaming because you're all still here and Helen is gone. Okay, end stream. Bye, thank you. End. We Want to Believe is hosted by Helen Werner and Liz Holden. It's produced by Zach Werner. The We Want to Believe theme music was created and recorded by Zach Werner. Find us at wewanttoBelievePod.com, on Instagram at wewanttoBelievePod, or send us an email at wewanttoBelievePod@gmail.com.